Hello YouTube. I'm having one of those I just hate the bus system here moments. It's Tuesday, January 11th, 2022, 5:49 p.m. and I am standing at the corner of, check out this street sign, 19th Avenue and Maricopa Street. So Maricopa Street has been closed, and it looks like they're permanently moving it from 19th Avenue to 18th Avenue, whatever it is. Going east. Or maybe they're just redoing the curbs. It's hard to tell what's going on here, but yeah, it looks like this piece of property has been, including the street, has been purchased by some kind of a developer. Anyway, I was trying to do a transfer. Oh, what I'm trying to do just is finished up at Amazon, if you've been watching the videos before this, and been chatting with my daughter about her experience with getting hired at Amazon, and it sounds like everything's good to go. Like I've pretty much got the job. And in the last video I was explaining, I feel like I explained most everything relevant, so I'm gonna try not to repeat all of that now. So anyway, I was thinking, it's Tuesday, and as I've said on several videos, particularly the videos on Sunday when I took a trip over to a trip that didn't end well, over to Finishline Bar at 19th Avenue and Bell, that I'm really curious to see what their karaoke's like on Tuesday. And I really want to go back there and hopefully see the bartender that I saw last, because she looked really bewildered the way I just jetted out of there on Sunday morning, and just kind of apologized to her and let her know, hey, it wasn't you. It was just too much football screaming noise. Just makes me uncomfortable. So, and oddly enough, like really bad karaoke singer noise doesn't faze me at all. Go figure. Anyway, yeah, I figured today's a good day to head up there. If I'm timing everything like I think I'm timing it, I'm probably going to get there about I'm going to get there around 7:15-ish. So I have an hour and a half to just chat with the bartender and whoever's there and get a feel for the bar again, and get some chili dogs. Have I mentioned that I love chili dogs? I love chili dogs. And the fact that I can put nacho cheese on them just occurred to me. Like, why haven't I been putting nacho cheese on my chili dogs? I'm not sure. Doing that tonight though. So I just got off the Route 12, I think it is. It goes down Buckeye. It's not a bus I've ever really used much, so don't know the number off the top of my head, but I think it's Route 12. And when I looked at the transit app, it showed that I would have a very tight transfer from the Route 12 headed westbound to the Route 19 northbound. And yeah, as with what happens often with tight transfers, it didn't work. The Route 19 northbound made better time, and than the one I was on. The one I was on started running kind of late and just kept getting progressively later. Not that it was notoriously slow, but anyway, what should have been what is up with this guy? That's an illegal maneuver, dude. Probably an illegal car. By the way, I am walking through the hood. That truck's loud. I'm waiting for the noise to get down so you'll actually be able to hear this. So, yeah, I was actually chatting with my daughter on Snapchat as I was on my way to the bus stop, so I wasn't really watching the progress, but as soon as I got off the bus, I walked over to where I would transfer to the 19 northbound, and then I checked the transit app to see that transfer that was only going to give me like 1 minute to get from stop to stop didn't work, and that the 19 had already passed that stop at Buckeye and was already at like Jefferson Street, which I've now just damn near walked to. Crossing Grant right now. was driving. I don't think there's a bus route on Grant, but I was driving and I was to head that way, which is east. Grant, once you get on the other side of 7th Avenue, which is 1 mile to the east, it turns into Lincoln Drive. Anyway, oh, I just can't wait to drive again. Of course, I still haven't heard back from Rob. Car didn't get finished on Monday. Oh, what a shock. So anyway, instead of sitting there and waiting for the next bus, which I believe was like wow. I just passed a shopping cart full of garbage, and what I'm assuming is a homeless man sitting at that bus stop. And yeah, he got some money and looked like he spent on a big fat pile of lottery tickets. Wow, just wow. That's I mean, I guess there's a slight chance he might win the lottery, but yeah, it's definitely mathematically, that's a pretty solid formula for keeping your stupid ass homeless. 19th Avenue in Lincoln. Anyway, as I've mentioned many times, a lot of the bus routes here in Phoenix, all the buses don't go the length of the route. Some of them have, particularly east-west routes, a lot of them have certain points where only some of them go east or west of those points. And there are not as many, but a handful of north-south routes that do the same thing as far as going north and south. And trying to do this transfer, I just learned that just from playing with the app and looking at options on the transit app, that the Route 19 is one of them. And only a certain percentage of the buses goes south of Jefferson Street. So given the choice between spending the next 20 or 30 minutes of my life sitting at the bus stop at 19th Avenue and Buckeye in a really bad part of town, I decided it's probably best. Well, this is interesting. This looks like it's a platform for a bus stop, but they don't have a bus stop here. Or do they? Alright. Hopefully the city's getting right on taking care of that. So anyway, yeah, given the choice between sitting there for the next 20 to 30 minutes or walking on up to Jefferson Street, I figure I'd rather just walk and shoot another little quick video. So this train track here, this is the main track that goes east and west across central Phoenix. I'm not as much of a I'm not enough of a train person to say whose rail that is, but it's a freight rail. Once upon a time, it used to be a passenger rail. It hasn't been for many years. I'm often very critical of the light rail here in Phoenix, just because I find it to be basically an inefficient 1920s streetcar with a modern facade. I've lived in other places that have rail-based transportation, and I visited other places with rail-based transportation, particularly the BART in the Bay Area and the light rail in Denver. And both of those systems are very efficient for getting you around town quicker than driving, or at least at a pretty comparable rate, comparable to driving. There's definitely advantages to using BART or Denver light rail as opposed to driving. There's not many advantages to Phoenix light rail over driving, and the main thing comes with the fact that it has, in most parts of town, stops every half mile like a bus, and it also has, which of course slows things down, and with the exception of a short bit of track where it crosses Tempe Town Lane, it has a maximum speed of 35 miles per hour, which is pretty damn slow when you consider that most people in this city drive on major streets like this at speeds between 40 and 55 miles per hour, or they get on freeways and they're doing between 65 and 80 miles per hour. So when you compare that to a train that goes 35 miles per hour and doesn't go directly to where you're going, and consider that the majority of the freeways kind of do go directly where you're going, depending on where you're going. Yeah, rail system here is pretty damn inefficient. Anyway, I've long since, before, when they first started showing where they're planning light rail, I always wondered why the hell, instead of sticking it in the street like a 100-year-old trolley or streetcar, why the hell didn't they put it in the easements where the freight rails are, like right where I just crossed? I don't know, but that's not what happened. So I feel a system like that only had stops every few miles at major points of interest, and then also at major transit connections, would be a lot more efficient. And that track that I just crossed, like to the west, could go all the way out to the center, could head out to the center of Goodyear and Avondale, goes through the center of like the downtown areas of both of those communities, and actually all the way out to Buckeye. But yeah, that's not how it's done here. Anyway, the other thing that's pretty notable about that track where I crossed it there, that is the state capitol that way. That is the halfway point. Usually, like, Phoenix is laid out on a square mile grid, and generally speaking, there's at every square mile there's a major street, and at every half mile there's usually kind of a minor thoroughfare. And it's worth noting that the half mile street between, in most places, the half mile street between Van Buren and Buckeye isn't a street at all. It's that rail line. That's what resides at the halfway point. So, all right, I just crossed. Wow, that's a trippy. This screen is not capturing how trippy those colors are in real life. But that's a trippy looking sunset. And one thing of all the different places I've lived, that Phoenix has over every other place I've been is sunsets. Phoenix just has epic looking sunsets. And that's the backside of the state capitol building. I'm assuming Doug Ducey's office is in that top floor. It's kind of disturbing how much it looks like some kind of a prison tower from this side, but much cooler building from the front. And I do have some interesting videos about the state capitol, and I'll try to remember to link them from the description of this video. I went to a protest at the and I feel like because of the content of the protest, it's being suppressed by the YouTube algorithm, because it hasn't really got any views at all compared to my average video, which gets, a handful of views. Yeah, I went to a protest there about a month ago on the front side. This is the back side. For basically against government vaccine mandates. And great speeches, got a really good video recording of everything that happened there. And prior to the actual protests, I got a nice video just kind of exploring the front of the grounds of the Capitol. So yeah, try to remember to put a link to that particular video in the description of this video. So yeah, the sun is just about down. Man, the colors on my iPhone screen are just nothing like what I'm seeing when I'm looking forward with my eyes. Because the colors with my eyes are just like a crazy, like reddish pink glow on the horizon, and just kind of some kind of purplish blues and dirty clouds above it. And yeah, that's not what my camera's catching, unfortunately. The other buildings that you see, there's a bus waiting to go west on Jefferson Street. I'm not sure which bus that is, but I know I used to hang out in this area a lot back when I was homeless, and there's quite a few buses that start right at that location. All right, I see a bus coming. It's very likely the one I'm needing to get on, so I need to wrap this up. But hey, thanks for coming with. Yeah, I think that's my bus.